Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some huge updates. We start with Vitor Roque as Barcelona have made the decision to sign the Brazilian wonderkid finally. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then, secondly, in this episode, we are going to be talking about on loan defender Clement Lenglet, as Lenglet will be Barca's first sale of the summer. According to reports, they are expecting 14 million euro from Tottenham Hotspur as part of the transfer. We are also going to be discussing more on that report. So guys, as we get right into the full story, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the post bell notification so you always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. A recent report from Mundo Deportivo has offered an update on Barcelona's pursuit of Vitor Roque, suggesting that the club have finally decided to sign the Atletico Paranaense wizkid this coming summer. Barca had identified Roque as one of their main targets ahead of the new season. However, due to a lack of definition of their limitations in the market, the club were a bit hesitant in pursuing the player. But as per the latest report, Barcelona have decided to go after Roque after making a careful analysis of their sporting and economic conditions. They have come to the conclusion that signing the Brazilian wizkid could be integral for the club's future, as they require a high-level substitute for Robert Lewandowski. Vitor Roque, who has bagged 14 goals since making his professional debut for Atletico PR, is regarded as the next big thing in Brazilian football. Needless to say, his performances have not gone unnoticed, with other European giants also keen on his services. Barcelona, though, have a notable advantage in the sense that the forward himself is desperate to play for Barcelona. Another advantage, as pointed out by the report, is the fact that Barcelona have a bit of time to make their economic maneuvers. This is because Mario Celso Pedraglia, the president of Atletico Paranaense, has been admitted to the hospital for several weeks due to an infection. This is giving Barca some breathing time, which they could use to ascertain the club's powers and limitations in the transfer market this summer. The services of Vitor Roque could come in at a fee of around 35 to 40 million euros. Barcelona are aware of this but require some time to process the sale of their unwanted players before they can fund the operation. Vitor Roque continued to be Barcelona's main objective when you talk about a potential new striker. He is still very young, and Barcelona have been linked with him for a very long time now. There was a period where it was like this deal might not go through because of the transfer fees that the club over there is asking, and so on and so forth. But I'm happy to see that Barcelona are still showing interest, and they have decided that they will put all their energy on Vitor Roque to ensure that he become a Barca player after analyzing the sporting project for next season. Of course, Vitor Roque continued to be a player with a lot of promise, a lot of prospects. Of course, Barcelona have been showing strong interest, and this comes after Barcelona failed to bring in Endrick, which Barca was interested for such a long time, until Real Madrid came into the picture and snatched him away from us. So Barcelona want to ensure that this time around, this other Brazilian wizkid, we shouldn't let him go to another club. We understand that economically we are suffering, which have really led to the downfall of many things, because even the players that we bought last season, there were some certain players that we couldn't have buy, all just because we don't have that financial stand. Barcelona want to ensure that they will do all that they can to ensure that they can bring in Vitor Roque as the player continue to impress onlookers, and of course over there in Brazil. And the good thing is Vitor Roque is very open to a potential move to the Camp Nou. In some interviews, when asked about this link or this interest from Barca, he always seemed to give a positive remark on that. And of course, even going ahead to claim that Barca have been a dream club for him since he was a child. And it will be no surprise that Barcelona having the upper hand in this pursuit of Vitor Roque, all because of the fact that he is a big fan of the club and he really wants to join the club. If there is that opportunity, he doesn't want to miss it one bit. So you just have to keep fingers crossed and let's see how things go from here on, because definitely we need a new striker. We need a new striker. Robert Lewandowski is almost 35 years old, and definitely he's not the Robert Lewandowski in the yesteryears. We need Vitor Roque, who is still in is 18 years old and is still in his prime, and of course, which means that the future is already being secured if we can successfully bring in Vitor Roque in the club next season. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barcelona are close to reaching an agreement for their first summer exit, with a report from Sport confirming that the Blaugrana and the Premier League side Tottenham Hotspur are in talks to finalize the permanent transfer of Clement Lenglet for about 14 million euros. Lenglet has a valid contract with Barcelona until 2026, but it is no secret that he simply has no place in Xavi's blueprint for the next season. Since joining Tottenham in July 2022 on a season-long loan, the former Sevilla man has managed to convince the management that he could be a worthy addition. After seeing him in action in 32 matches across all competitions, Tottenham have informed Barca that they want to sign the left-footed centre-back. Now, it must be noted that there is no purchase option in Lenglet's loan contract with Tottenham. Above all, finding an agreement with Tottenham back in July was quite difficult as the player's salary was posing a serious problem. A favorable agreement, however, was reached after the defender agreed to adjust his salary. The French centre-back was requested by former Tottenham manager Antonio Conte, and despite the Italian's departure, the Frenchman has impressed one and all with his performances. At the moment, FC Barcelona and Tottenham Hotspur are already talking about formalizing a transfer for around 14 million euros. Tottenham Hotspur have agreed to pay the mentioned fee, but what is delaying the operation is the institutional crisis at the London club. Tottenham are in a state of restructuring, and there is still no word on who their manager will be next season as Barca. However, they are clear that they do not want him back. At the same time, Barca management is also feeling quite optimistic about Umtiti's departure, mostly because they have been in talks with the teams who are willing to pay a transfer fee for the Frenchman. At Barca, there is no rush, there's a rush to formalize this kind of operation, as they want to bring in the income before June 30 so that they can rope in new players for the new season. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.